Welcome back to Jack of All Games Tabletop. I'm Dave Wallace, and it is time again for another miniature painting tips for noobs kind of video. Last month when I did one of these, my video was actually just kind of a montage of a lot of the miniatures that I have painted, and I actually got a couple of messages about some of the bases for my Warhammer miniatures that I've done, and I happened to have a loose Warhammer figure sitting around. It was fully completed, so other than the base. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let me take this opportunity to show you. And this is the completed guy here, so you can see the little base here. But yeah, asking about this little rocky cliff stuff here. And this one was done kind of quickly so that I could make this video. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take you through the process because it's actually fairly easy, and you can even make them look much better than this one, like some of the ones that you've seen in my pictures there. But before we do that, it is time for another board game giveaway. It is May, and it's only a couple days away from my birthday. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back about 4 weeks on my channel, and yes, I do this so that you'll actually search through and maybe see something else that you like. But a video that's called Second Quarter Free Board Games Giveaway. All you gotta do is go on that video, subscribe, and put a comment on that video, and you are entered to win. I do board game giveaways every month. Incidentally, the person who won last month has not yet claim their prize, so check your replies if you haven't done so. Yeah, go on there and get a chance to win possibly next month. This one I'm about to do, well, I'm about to edit it in, but yeah, this will be a giveaway late tonight, so take it away, Dave.
What's up, everybody? It is time to do a game giveaway for the month of May. We are doing Lord of the Rings, and where's the camera at there? Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game. Pretty cool game. So if you don't know how this works, you need to go back a few weeks on my channel and find the free games giveaway second quarter video, because there will still be one more to give away. By the way, last month I gave away Tiny Epic Vikings, and that person still hasn't claimed their prize. I'm going to give you all the way till the end, but of this quarter, make sure that you check for your replies. That's how you know if you won or not. All right. Anyway, so for Tiny Epic Vikings, I'm going to get out my app here. Random. 30 participants. Okay. And number. There we go. 23. This does look different every time I look at my comments from a different source, whether it's my computer or my phone. But here we go. Number 23 is 198 Woody. Yo, Woody, you just won the Lord of the Rings trick-taking game. So enjoy that. And yeah, I'm gonna reply to your comment. Make sure you get back to me so you can get your prize. That's going to be it for now. Back to you, Dave.
All right, so congratulations to that person. So yeah, let's talk about making some little rocky cliff kind of terrain for your Warhammer, or any kind of miniatures that come with a separate base. Nowadays you got Trench Crusade, there's Infinity, there's all kinds of war games out there, Lord of the Rings and stuff, and you can make these little cool rocky cliffs that just gives it a little bit extra, but still pretty tight. You do have to be cautious about the size, and you can see there's a little bit of like overhang on the base here, and even a couple parts where you can actually see the base. And that's because you do want to make sure these guys, when they have troop movement, they're supposed to be tight together. So you don't really want to go too much over. You want to keep it pretty close to the actual size of the plastic base. So first thing you're going to need is some foam, good crafting foam. You can get a pack of these. I think there's like a 10 pack of these. These are, let me see, that looks like it's probably about 8 by 12. You can get a pack of these, I think 10 or 20 of them for pretty cheap on like Amazon. Some crafting stores might have them also. But you want some stuff that's kind of dense. You don't want the typical stuff that comes in your packaging. You could try it, but it's probably not gonna, you want it to be a little bit thick. I will say, if you really want to get into foam crafting, if you want to build terrain and larger pieces, and you want to invest in a really nice foam cutter for straight lines, the best foam you're going to get is actually going to be at the hardware store. It's made for roofing. You get the 4x8 sheets of the blue, the really dense foam. Really good stuff. It just perfect texture every time. It's really nice to use. This stuff is a little bit more porous, but it's still better than typical. So yeah, you can get these. Like I said, I got mine, and I got a bundle of them on Amazon, and can actually do quite a bit with that. When it comes to war game miniatures, you're probably going to be doing more than one. You want them to be all uniform, so whether it's a kill team or whether you're doing a full army, one of the first things you can do is you can get the bases, just the bases that come with, little plastic base that comes with them, and start marking out on the board how everything's going to fit, and kind of put them kind of close together. Give yourself a little bit of space, but yeah, kind of line them up on the board, and yeah, you'll be ready to go. So of course you got to cut it all out, and you can use a knife. It's not going to be as neat. It's probably going to be a bit frustrating, and I will say, like I said, if you really want to get into terrain building, then you might want to invest in a really nice hot wire cutter. But the good ones, they're going to cost you 120, 150 bucks. But if you just want to make little stuff like this, little pieces for your Warhammer figures, get yourself a hot wire like this. This one is, what is it even called? Foam cutter. It's just called Marvi Uchida. Here's the name. Okay, it's cheap, 30 bucks. 30 bucks at Hobby Lobby, and it works fine for what I'm doing. I wouldn't want to try to make some really nice straight lines with this thing. It even has this section on here that comes out separately. There you go. So you can use this to, help you. Power goes in here, and you can just hold it like that. I pretty much just always use it on the actual base itself. But then you can start with cutting out the pieces. So as you move through, you can cut out one long strip at a time, and then break it up into little small blocks. And you see the circle there that I've got it ready to cut. So what you want to remember with this is, again, you want to stay close to the size of this. If it comes inside the circle in a few spots, that's okay. If it's outside the circle in a few spots, that's okay also. You don't want uniformity. You want it to be kind of broken up, which is why first thing I do is I usually cut off the corners, but then as I'm shaping it, a lot of times we'll turn at a certain edge, so that way you get that kind of slope to it. Also, I will kind of, as I'm coming to the wire, I will kind of move in and out and try and get like a little bit of a wavy effect. Every now and then I might go a little bit deeper to get almost like a crack. And then, yeah, just slowly start to shape it. Like I said, close to, but not exactly the exact same shape and size of the actual circle. You don't want it to be perfect, otherwise what's the point? Also, if this piece feels a little bit thick to you, you can actually run it right down the wire and split it in half. With this foam, especially get a bundle of this stuff, you got plenty of room for practice, so don't worry about it. If you screw up one, just grab another one or shave it down a little bit more. In the end, you can have something like this as far as your basic shape. And as you can see, from the light there, the little waves in there, but you can always flip it over to the other side. So there you go, experiment with it a little bit, kind of flip things around, see what looks cool to you. You do have to make sure, like I said, one of the reasons why you want to be close to the size of the actual base, not only for the fact that troop movement is going to, it's going to interfere with them being adjacent to each other, but some of these miniatures, some of these Warhammer miniatures, I mean, they got pretty wide stance to them. And you cut out any way for them to fit, it's not going to work. So you can kind of, once you've got a shape cut out, you can also kind of turn them around and, see which way it looks like it's going to be best, and then maybe press it down to get, like marks from the footprints, or you can even just take a pencil and just kind of mark where you think the feet are going to go. All right, once you got your shapes cut out and you're ready to start putting things together, I usually start with adhering the foam cutout to the actual base. And there's a lot of different kind of glues and adhesives. Tacky glue works really great. I will say, especially depending on, how quickly I'm trying to get stuff done, I like to use, when it comes to the foam cut to the plastic base, to use super glue. Now, if you know anything about super glue and foam, or you've heard people talk about it, you will hear people say, don't use this, because they'll claim that super glue kind of eats away at the styrofoam. And that's sort of true. It actually kind of melts it. It doesn't eat it all up. It's not going to make this whole, if you put a couple dots of super glue on here, it's not going to make it all disappear. It's going to maybe warp in a little bit of it, but it also melts some of that styrofoam to be a smoother surface. And actually, for me, it seems to work pretty well as far as adhering to it. So feel free to experiment with that. If you got the time, just use something like tacky glue or something. But once I have the pieces attached, I want to, one of the things I do want to do is I want to make sure that I plan a little bit as far as a contrast between the figure and the base. I don't want the attention to be drawn to the base. I want the attention really drawn to the figure. And I mean, usually you get some kind of color pop, even if it's just a little bit of red or something on there. But I want it to be a little bit different. In this case, I decided to go with a kind of orangish brown look. But yeah, you can also do like, an icy snow look in which you can, coat a little bit of a snow texture on top of it, and you want to build off of a blue base. You can also do like, some grays. Technically speaking, I mean, as these guys are traveling around the galaxy, yeah, a cliffside mountain could be on another planet, almost any color. But relation helps us make it feel real. That's why Tatooine is, earth tones that we are accustomed to with desert planets. Sure, on another planet there could be blue sand, but our minds just don't accept it. So in this case, I usually try to keep it an earth tone that my brain is going to accept and understand. So once I have the concept, before I even do any paint, I'm going to start with probably a little bit of texture. I do like this Vallejo. They make some nice different texture paints. And this one is kind of a dark earth, good base, just to give it a little bit of grit on the top there. And then before I actually start putting any paint, if I want to put any kind of, say, like rock formations or something like that, I'll put just a little bit, just to make it interesting. I really like this Army Painter Battlefield Rocks. It's just cork, and it works great. Just with that, use a little bit of tacky glue, and set your couple of rocks here and there. Make sure that you're not going to be in the way of any parts of your miniature. And from there, you can paint. You can just use, to start, don't waste your good hobby paints. I wouldn't use my Pro Acryls to coat the whole thing. I just use a cheap acrylic paint from Michaels or something like that. Start with like a brownish color, and then I will use my good, even lighter color, orangish color, like a Sierra, burnt sienna. Sorry. Mix that and dry brush that over top of all of the. Get it over the rocks and get it over the base, and just kind of, like I said, just dry brush it real light. And that just kind of breaks things up and gives it, a little bit more, brings out some of that texture for you. After that, pretty easy. Next thing would be, of course, gluing the figure into place. For that, again, I go back to the super glue again. Just make sure at that point you're adhering the plastic to a painted surface, so it should probably stick pretty well. And then, of course, you can add, like a little grass tucked in there, just a little bit, not too much, because it does feel like kind of a rocky surface. So I don't want to put too much stuff in there. But you can put more if you like. You can use sand, all kinds of different stuff, but put a lot of those things down first. Now, if I was doing all of these like from the beginning, like I said, this was just a quick one, but if I was doing it from the beginning, I would probably keep in mind how I was painting the miniatures, and the bases would all be kind of one area of thought where everything would be kind of working together. In this case, I already had the figure and then I built the base around it, but being able to bring these two things together to where they work well together, I actually really like this stuff. It is another Vallejo product. This is some pigment dust, and by just getting a little bit on the brush and dusting around the model and then scraping it around on his boots real lightly so it doesn't really take away too much from your paint job. You can do it with paint as well, as long as you're real light, but maybe even like you see down at the bottom where the chains drag on the ground and stuff like that, I put some of this dust, and then of course on the surface of the rocky terrain as well, and that really brings it together, like he's actually been stomping on this terrain and chains have been dragging and stuff. Using a little bit of that just kind of syncs everything together. And then once you've got that on there, I mean, it's pretty much ready for varnish. So there you go. It's really simple. Doing one of these, if you take away all of the drying time, it's probably about 20 minutes worth of work. And of course I could do a little bit more. Like I said, this was a quick one for the video. But overall, I mean, like I said, 20 minutes of work basically. And then if you are doing a group, if you're doing a kill team, if you're doing, an entire army, then your batch painting, it's going to go even quicker. So yeah, very simple, very easy. And even with, hot wire, I mean, extra $30 for something that you might use a lot of times. It's pretty cool looking, on the table. Set your guys up a little bit higher than the other team. A little intimidation factor there. But it just looks impressive. It's not just a plain miniature, and it's really easy. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise. It's really simple. So yeah, you might want to give that a go and just make your miniatures really pop on the table. All right, that's going to be it for this week. I hope you try that out, and lots of cool tricks out there for things you can do with your texturing and for your terrain, and so try it out, see how you like it. You might be impressed with what you can do with a little bit of styrofoam and a little bit of heat. All right, so that's going to be it for this week. Until next time, get out there and paint some minis.
Hey gamers, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. It's one of the things I know that I can count on with the gaming community at large. This is of course to the point where I gotta ask you to like it, hit that subscribe button, and maybe share this with a friend. If you are a game designer, or maybe starting your own gaming company, and you want to do a little bit of cross promotion, maybe you got a prototype that you want me to check out and talk about on the show, definitely let me know. And of course, for all questions, suggestions, and corrections, there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of me. Probably the easiest one is just comment below. You can also send me an email at jackofallgamestt@gmail.com. The T stands for tabletop. And if you'd like to take a look at my commissioned miniature paint jobs, or even some of the other stuff in my life like photography or tattooing, which is what I do for my day job, go check it out on Instagram at Art of Wallace. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.